Hello, hello. Jordan inspired me to do this video. After all, if he can do it, why not me? And I'm going to be doing a video of small stakes, no limit hold'em. Now, in Full Tilt, the small stake that they have to offer is 5 cent, 10 cent, no limit. That's what we're going to be playing. And while I mine some stats to get a feel for the table, I'm going to give you a little introduction. First off, Poker Tracker. Poker Tracker is an absolute necessity if you're going to play no limit. The problem is, if you're watching this video in order to learn how to play this game, this particular game, which is 5 cent, 10 cent no limit, you are kind of screwed, because your bankroll is probably between $100 or $200, if that, and Poker Tracker itself costs $70. And you can't exactly liquidate your entire bankroll to be able to buy this program. I mean, think of it this way. It's kind of like if there's a can of peaches and a plastic fork and you only have enough money to buy one. You'd like to be able to have the plastic fork to eat your peaches with, but realistically, you can't. You're going to have to eat with your hands. It seems a little primitive, but what good is a fork if you don't have peaches to eat it with? Much like what good is Poker Tracker if you can't play poker? Also, I want to touch on one subject that Durden was very emphatic on, that you can get a lot of tells from people simply based on their name. That's nonsense. If you believe that, you're a fucking idiot. And there are tells that you can use. The only real one that you could use in a situation like this would be the avatar of the person. Now just take a look around. You have a panda bear, probably soft, cuddly, will fold to any raise you make. A frog, useless. A turtle, probably slow to act and will time out very often. A shark, the shark is going to be the guy we get to stay away from. $18. You have the sleazeballs. Usually this is typically the grinder, the ones who make their living playing the game, the rounders, if you will. And you'll notice that this particular sleazeball has the biggest stack at $43.20, clearly proving this theory is correct. And you have a guy in a cigar who's doing nothing, whatever. The rock, well, it kind of gives off the image of me being a nit, like being a rock. And I kind of want people to get that impression. It's going to be very useful when I bombard them with a very aggressive style of play. In the meantime, as we look around, we'll see Marquis K, the sleazeball with the giant stack, is commanding this table. And we're going to go ahead and fix that. Right now the stats seem to be completely unimpressive. You have 50-0, 67-33, 17-17. Nothing too afraid of, except it looks like Preflop Pusher happens to be the guy who's playing the best out of everyone here. Typically in a full ring no limit, you want your VPIP to be around 14-15, and you want your preflop raise to also be around 14-15. Doesn't hurt to be aggressive, especially when you can be aggressive all the time. Now the 0-0, well, I guess you can't lose what you don't put in, but you can't win anything either, so this is very, very stupid. This is going to be the guy we're going to just raise every single blind he has. So, look at that, another fold. So we're going to go ahead and post our blind. We got 8-4. Now the trick here is you want to maximize value for every hand that you play. You want to get the most possible money that you can. In this situation, we want to get the value that's indicative of the hand that we're holding. So we have 8-4 here. We're going to let everybody act. Uncle Blue probably going to fold again. Yeah, there we go. Roger and Toadass. What kind of name is Toadass? You think people would have any semblance of creativity? Alright, he just limps. So like I said, we want to get as much money as we possibly can. That represents the value of our hand. The value of our hand is garbage. So we're going to go ahead and get all in. Toadass is probably going to fold because he's thinking we have aces. That's really the only hand that you can call when I shove 100 big bets, and there we go. Now I did that for a very simple reason. We do not want to see a flop with that hand, but we still want to win the hand. So the only way we're going to be able to pull that off is if we can represent strength. We go all in, because who would shove 100 big bets on the very first hand unless they had aces? There are really only 3 hands, 2.5 hands that would actually call you there. The aces would obviously call because nothing beats aces. Kings would call begrudgingly. It would be more of a crying call. because they're obviously putting you on aces, and if they have kings, well, you know, nobody likes to fold kings pre-flop. Nobody really ever does, mostly because people over here are fish. And queens may or may not call. It really depends on feel. So you have ace-9. You've got a couple of limpers. And we have Toad-Ass. And we're going to go ahead and fold here. Now, why I'm doing this video, you go along and you see all these instructional videos by guys who play $200, $400 no limit, and they're trying to teach you how to play small stakes. The problem is, you can't have a guy who's playing high stakes teach you how to play low stakes, because those are two different worlds. You can't employ the same tactics in a $40,000 no limit game as you would in a $10 no limit game, no matter how hard they'll try to tell you you can. I dare you to try floating 9 high on a flop so you can 5-bet all in on the turn, thinking that they're going to fold for what is essentially the price of a Happy Meal. Nobody gives a crap about money at these stakes. Those that do, maybe you can get away with it, but for the most part, if they're 4-betting, a 5th bet isn't going to do anything. And this is something they employ at the higher stakes maybe, but you're not going to be able to get away with that crap over here. And this is all I see from those videos. In order to properly teach someone how to play this stake, you have to be someone who does play this stake, or did play this stake. And when I first started out playing, I would log in probably 5, 6 hands of $10 no limit. So I clearly know what I'm doing at this level. And again, here we have ace-5, and that would make me, you know, logically the proper teacher for a stake like this. So we've got ace-5 here. We could call, we're on the button, but I still want to employ a strategy of overpowering strength. I could go all in, but I kind of feel like I'm going to get called, so I'm just going to fold. Pick a better spot. Okay, so here we've got ace-jack suited, a very strong hand, obviously. So we're going to be hoping that someone will put in as much money as possible so we can capitalize. Well, since nobody did, we're going to have to go ahead and do that for ourselves. Make it $10 to go. I imagine in a situation like this, someone will probably call with a weaker ace, just because I've done this before. And people may be getting tired of it, like Marky Casey. Fuck. Well, we did get 15 cents out of it. And a win is a win. Alright, here we've got King 3. Nothing of consequence, but it looks like... we'll just fold. Alright, so Jack 8. Now we're going to try something different here. We're going to go ahead and limp under the gun in the hopes that somebody raises, in which case we can come over the top of them and either completely take them out of the hand, or, you know, get all in and gamble. Either of those options seem very plus EV at this point, so it doesn't look like that's going to work though. Everybody just limped in. Hopefully Zeus raises, but he doesn't. Okay, so we've got a 10 high flop. And if action checks to me, well, I'm obviously going to be betting. I mean, what can you do here? I mean, you can't just check behind. You don't have the option of open folding. And they all did check. So we're going to go ahead and bet 8 times the pot. Show them we mean business. And eliminate all possible draws from the hand. We don't want hearts to come along. We don't want 5-6 to come along. Or weak 10. Or weak 4. So far they've accommodated. And Toad-Ass. Yep, see? There you go. And just like that, we're up 50 cents. You can buy a gumball. 3-8. We're going to try that again.